So nasty. So that was my first attempt at any kind of product that I wanted to sell. My name is Miles and my business is 8Myles. I am from Philadelphia, home of the cheesesteak, the hoagie, the soft pretzel, the water ice, all the good stuff. So actually come from a family of entrepreneurs. So my grandpa owned a moving and storage company. He started it from the ground up. And my parents were actually entrepreneurs too. They have full-time jobs, but they sold shoes on the side, which I didn't know much about as a kid. I just saw a bunch of shoes in the attic and it was like, oh, there's so many heels. I didn't know what was going on. But yeah, they were wholesalers of shoes for a number of years. And my dad is currently a part-time caterer. So right now I'm actually a project manager for a construction company. And I went to school for engineering. I mean, I worked my butt off for that degree and that kind of translated into the business that I run too. And also, I failed at a lot of exams, and so I got used to bouncing back. You know, I kind of could take my failures and turn them into learning experiences and keep pushing. When I started the business, I wanted to do 8 different barbecue sauces, and when I switched over to mac and cheese, I wanted to keep the name because it was catchy, and because it's my name tied to it, it's got a pretty, strong connection to me. I started out making barbecue sauce and was doing that for a couple of years, and I started to realize that barbecue sauce doesn't move quickly off the shelves. I mean, if you're a consumer, you might buy barbecue sauce once or twice a year. So actually my first barbecue sauce I created was atrocious. So a friend of mine was living in Europe and then she told me, she said, oh Miles, you should make this hot sauce with pomegranate juice. And I was like, oh, that sounds cool. Oh man, I tried it. I never forget, it was winter break, I was at home, and I tried it. It tasted like hot grape juice. It was so nasty. So that was my first attempt at any kind of product that I wanted to sell, and it was bad. But then I improved on it, and then after that, like I said, developed the mac and cheese, and that was a hit pretty early on. So I started to say, okay, what else can I do? And I have Southern roots, so my love of soul food in general kind of started to permeate through the business, and I landed on mac and cheese after realizing there's not a really good mac and cheese on the market that you can buy frozen. Man, if you could list the challenges to being like an Elder Scroll that you, but there's a couple that come to mind. The one being just the competition of frozen food. I mean, when you go on a grocery store and you walk down the aisle, there's thousands of boxes of different kind of products that you can buy for a frozen meal. And so a challenge is trying to find a way to stand out and really portray to the customer that this is a quality product. You're not going to buy this because it's convenient. You're going to buy it because it tastes amazing. It tastes homemade. It just happens to be convenient as well. Shoot, if I knew my younger self now, I'd say, listen, if you have free time, enjoy it. I mean, just really enjoy that time away from work, because that shrinks up when you start running a business. And then also, don't rush it. It's easy to want to do a million things at once in the beginning, and then you start comparing yourselves to others. Just kind of stay in your, focus on your own goals, set your own goals, and just know your time will come. I mean, I've been at this for 5 years, and just now starting to get some serious momentum. So sometimes it happens for people in 6 months, some people it takes 10, 15 years. So yeah, just patience, Number one is probably getting into Whole Foods. That was a big deal because that took me 2-3 years to do. I pitched them multiple times. I kept refining the business, and then I got accepted into Whole Foods about a year ago, and that was huge. I mean, that was sort of like validation that I'm doing something right. They get pitched all the time, and the fact that they chose my brand was pretty awesome. So right now we're in Whole Foods, about 9 locations in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. We're in all of the Balducci's. We're in all the King's markets up in New York, New Jersey. Glenn's Market, Dawson's Market, and a bunch of independent accounts. And we're actually in a Whole Foods in Ohio, in Akron. So if you see LeBron, tell him I said, hey, the best mac and cheese is in your hometown. But on our website, you can actually find all the locations and pick up some mac and cheese near you. Mac Empire, just get mac and cheese into everyone's hands. I think people don't realize mac and cheese can taste this good and be frozen. So, I mean, I want little kids asking their moms for a box when they go to the store. I want that kid coming home from college going to his freezer and and eating the mac. I want that 26-year-old professional. I mean, literally everyone that loves mac and cheese, I want them to taste it and try it and become a fan. So really it's expansion across the US, so people have access to the greatest mac and cheese. So being in DC and being a local business, you're sort of in this network of people that just love the entrepreneur spirit and they love food. And so it's kind of nice to know that you have a lot of people that are doing what you're doing, and people love to support local. I mean, it's a good vibe, and to me, just having that community and working in this community with 8 Miles has been something special. So the website is 8myles.com, that's the number 8 and then MYLES, and our Instagram handle is at 8Myles LLC. Someone took 8 Miles years ago, so I had to add an LLC. But email is miles@8myles.com.